TC, no secret that I am Bucks County proud. You've heard me say that before. Thrilled to talk about Parks Casino, the number one casino in all of Pennsylvania, which happens to be in my native Bucks County. They have it all. World-class headliners at the Excite Center. Who's coming, by the way?
Oh, my gosh. There's so many good ones coming up. There it is. Kansas.
Kansas.
Yes.
All we are is dust in the wind.
Dust in the wind.
The open-air Liberty Bell Beer Garden, Parks Grill Steakhouse, Bamboo Noodle House, just a few of the outstanding restaurants, action, excitement, live entertainment. It is a destination. It is Parks Casino. Time now for headlines from Smerconish.com, the newsletter. A lot of voting yesterday on this. I love this question, and I'm really taken with the result. Would you be less inclined to vote for a candidate who only recently moved to your state or district? 10,379 votes cast on this. The yeses, meaning, yeah, I'd be less inclined, 87.35%. If 87.35% believe that, and that's typical of the country, and I'm not saying that it is, then why is Dr. Oz running neck and neck with Dave McCormick in Pennsylvania? Well, maybe it's because the charge can be made about both Oz and McCormick and Carla Sands and Herschel Walker and Nicholas Kristof. There's a piece that I read that Ed Kilgore wrote. Was it New York Magazine? I think that it was, either that or the New Yorker, saying that 2022 is like the year of the carpetbagger. And today at Smerconish.com, we have the latest story from the Philadelphia Inquirer about Dr. Oz in this regard. Listen to this. As he leaps into one of the country's most crucial campaigns, Oz, a Republican, says he moved to the Keystone State last year, specifically to the Montgomery County home owned by his wife's parents. He registered to vote in Pennsylvania, has acquired a PA driver's license, a concealed carry permit, and medical license in the state. Okay? And he reminds voters that he graduated from Penn back in the 80s. At the same time, Oz's social media still frequently show him at his North Jersey mansion long after he says he moved to Pennsylvania. More than 20 posts in the last 3 months alone appear to show him in his Cliffside Park home. Social media all of a sudden being used to track his whereabouts. The Inquirer goes on to explain that legally, it's hard to stop somebody from running for the Senate based on their residency. The rules set by the Constitution are very loose. And frankly, both Democrats and Republicans come under fire for this. The Constitution imposes 3 requirements to run for the Senate. You've got to be 30, a U.S. citizen for at least 9 years, and inhabit, quote unquote, inhabit the state you'll represent at the time you're elected, which means that Oz or anybody else could theoretically run a campaign from Alaska, wait until just before Election Day to move to Pennsylvania and still be legally eligible. Aaron Blake in the Washington Post today talking about Donald Trump and the influence that he may or may not have on the primary campaign, noting that previously Trump has endorsed candidates who were foregone conclusions that they would win. But this cycle is different because he's gotten involved in some very competitive races. In Georgia, seemingly on the wrong end of the stick, Brian Kemp and David Perdue, the former U.S. Senator, Kemp, the incumbent governor, duking it out for the gubernatorial mansion. And Perdue is far behind despite Trump's blessing. This is really interesting because in Georgia, one of the issues is Trump's continued allegation that there was a fix-in that denied him victory in that state. Ohio, another state that Aaron Blake focuses on, where J.D. Vance, a former Never Trumper, appears now to be neck and neck with Josh Mandel, perhaps because of Trump giving him his blessing, and the aforementioned Pennsylvania, where it seemed like McCormick was ahead of Oz, and now Oz is neck and neck, or maybe even has a slight lead. A couple of other political headlines of the day, and then I'll get to my favorite political headline of the day, for which I have art. Karl Rove writing in the Wall Street Journal, talking about how Democrats really seem like they're in a box for the midterm election, and then wonders, well, and we've talked about this on radio, what if the Supreme Court comes along and overturns Roe versus Wade? And Karl Rove says, quote, Democrats believe if the Supreme Court overturns Roe versus Wade, it'll ignite a surge in Democratic turnout. He says, maybe. But what if the court instead allows states to ban abortion after only 15 weeks? Then maybe it'll be a non-starter. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders, and we have coverage from Vanity Fair because Bernie gave them an interview, says this is the time that Democrats must embrace unions and unionization, quote, must decide whether to become a party which stands for the working class of this country or to remain a corporately controlled party beholden to their wealthy campaign contributors. Today's survey question at Smerconish.com, my favorite issue of the day. Do you agree with Elon Musk that the Democratic Party has been hijacked by extremists? A couple of Musk-related headlines are posted at Smerconish.com today. First, Twitter admitting that it overstated users for years. This, they note, ahead of Musk's takeover, something I've long suspected. I've never bought into the idea. And maybe it's sour grapes, and maybe I'm envious, but I've just never bought into the idea that so many of these public figures have tens of millions of Twitter followers. And I'm dubious of it because years ago, when I was just getting involved in social media, I remember someone providing me with expertise, some social media consultant telling me that I could purchase Twitter followers. And I said, yeah, but if I can purchase them, they're fake, right? And after people figure that out, what do? He said, well, then you replace them with other fake people. Why would I do that? However many Twitter followers I have, as far as I know, they are 100% legit. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. Also related to Musk, he has sold $4 billion in Tesla shares, presumably so that he can finance the Twitter deal. There's a lot of speculation in the financial press today as to whether, because of the decline of the stock market recently and concerns about not only inflation, but a recession coming, and we have coverage of that at the newsletter today, that maybe he's going to get cold feet and maybe he can't pull it off. But this is my favorite story. My favorite story, which relates to the survey question, is that Elon Musk said that he previously identified as a liberal, but then opined on Twitter that the Democratic Party has been hijacked by extremists. TC, you want to explain this? Who is Tim Urban, and how does this all come to light?
All right. So first, Elon Musk tweeted the stick figures that the stick figure picture that we're all used to. Right. So there it is. So this is where the parties have moved and where presumably he has moved in. What are the 3 years that he uses?
2008, 2012,
okay,
and 2021.
Okay.
So it's like a left to right for people watching on YouTube. They can check it out, and it's in all my social media, but it's like a continuum, the left and the right and the center. Where does he think liberals are? Where does he think conservatives are? And where is he?
And that's the most important thing, because that's sort of what you have pulled out, and what, if you look on all of Michael's social media right now, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can look over his shoulder and see Michael's artwork. And so this became, anything that Elon Musk tweets becomes an issue. But this became even more of an issue because a gentleman named Tim Urban, who has a large Twitter follower, started analyzing it. And at some point, Elon Musk replied to him and said he was supportive of Obama, but the today's Democratic Party has been hijacked by extremists. So that was his take-home message.
So Musk in 2008 puts himself, it's kind of funny, TC, because Musk in 2008 puts himself left of center.
Okay.
And then Musk in 2012 puts himself close to the center, but left of center.
Okay.
Now, in 2021, he puts himself to the right of center. But the point he's making, and for simplicity, I don't make in my chart, but the point that he's making is that he thinks that the left has moved far to the left. And that's why, in relation to the left, he puts himself right of center.
Okay, so that's interesting. So
it's a very important point.
It's a very important point, and one, by the way, you have made.
Yes.
When you left the Republican Party, it wasn't, you felt that the Republican Party had left you. There's a big difference in that.
True. And so what I've not done in my analyses.
It's very profound.
Right.
Wow.
Did I ever tell you that in 8th grade art,
here we go. Oh, geez.
My teacher was Mrs. Restifo.
Of course it was.
She was also on my paper route.
Oh.
Not a tipper, as I recall.
Oh, that's not right.
And I took a sketch up to show her. This is 8th grade. And she told me to start over. It was a still life sketch.
Oh no.
Wait till you hear this.
Wait, are you still traumatized by this?
So I think it was Lisa Costello.
Why do you remember all these names?
That I gave listen to what I did. I gave her my sketch.
The sketch that you were supposed to start over?
Waited a few minutes.
No.
She went up to Mrs. Restifo, and Mrs. Restifo told her she was off to a good start.
Wait a minute. Why did you do that? Did you have a sense that there was a little spidey sense?
Yeah, a little street smarts, even in 8th grade.
Wow.
Yeah, TC would have wept in the corner and torn up and started over.
Of course I would.
No. I gave it to one of the cuties in my class, had her go up and show it. Okay.
I don't even know what to make of any of this.
Okay. Back to the drawing.
I'm against the teacher.
Back to the drawing.
Right. Okay. Why?
But then again, maybe now you understand why she told me to start over. Maybe Mrs. Restifo had the right idea.
Why did you choose 1980? Is that 2010? What is that?
Yeah.
A Z? Is that how you make your twos?
I don't know. It's hard for me. Ask Mrs. Restifo.
All right. So why did you choose 1980, 2010, and 20? I know why you chose 2022. Why the 2 earlier years?
Well, I went with 1980 because 1980 is when I was 18, coming of age politically, when I first registered to vote, and when I first cast a presidential ballot for Ronald Reagan, 1980. And I was all swept up in the Republican Party of Ronald Reagan and George Herbert Walker Bush. Just last night, I was having a conversation with someone, and I said, if George Herbert Walker Bush were alive and president as a Republican, I'd be a Republican.
Interesting.
That's my brand of Republican. Yeah. So I'm
that's
saying
just your brand of politics.
I'm saying in 1980, that's where I am. And I guess like Elon Musk, I'm right of center, but in the context of Reagan being right of center. By the way, I think someone knowledgeable of me in that era might move me slightly more to the right on the continuum.
Okay.
But in 1980, that's where I am.
Okay.
Now, why did I pick 2010? By the way, when I take this off, I hope it's not going to tear off from
that would be a problem.
If there's a huge stripe on my branded sign, I'm going to go bat blank. But 2010, I've from 1980 through 2008, I have voted only for Republican presidential candidates. In 2008, as you know, and it was quite a period in my political life and broadcast life, but I voted for Barack Obama.
Yeah.
But I was still a Republican.
Yes.
2010 is when I leave the Republican Party and I become an independent. And I've got myself right of center, but not as right of center as I was in 1980. You see that?
I do see that.
So Musk is shifting to the right. I'm shifting to the left. And I also believe that the country has shifted and everything is relative.
Well, that's my question. Are your feet moving or is the ground moving underneath you?
Will you write that down? That is such a good line. I need to use that on CNN tomorrow. Yes, say it again.
Are your feet moving?
Yeah.
Or is the ground moving underneath you?
And tomorrow on TV, I'm going to say, and ladies and gentlemen, we can have the conversation as to whether my feet were moving, but I would argue that the ground was always shifting beneath me. Okay.
Wow. We're good.
So, and then you've got me in 2022. Then you've got me in 2022. That's current day. And now I put myself smack dab in the middle. Okay. So, and TC, and not only do I say that's where I am, I have to stretch. So just to let me reach for something I have to pull out my plug or my ears are about to snap.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'll just keep talking. No problem at all. I got you. We got visual aids. We got a lot going on in the studio today. Okay. So now what do you have?
So this is the diagram from Ad Fontes.
That's right.
These are the people who have studied, I think it's like 2,000 media outlets and personalities. They are the ones who put me smack dab in the middle, TC. Yeah. And then like way the hell over here, you've got OAN and Hannity, and you've got Ben Shapiro, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's so interesting.
Way over to the left, you've got the Hartman Report. You've got Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow. But I'm most proud of this. So it's not just me saying this is where I feel. Like these people actually did an assessment and came to that conclusion.
You are stuck in the middle, as they say.
So anyway, here's the thing. And I talked about this earlier, but I just love it.
You've been trying to get people to write their own sketches.
I want people to do their own stick figure. And put into social media. You can post it on my Facebook page, but where do you stand? By the way, for authenticity purposes, I have signed mine.
Nice. I wondered about the signature.
I've got Eric X advising me now informally and believing he wants the return of the t-shirts.
He wants merch?
He wants merch.
Okay.
It just occurred
He's
to
a
me.
Smart man.
It just occurred to me.
Oh, is that going to be it right there?
Wouldn't that be a pretty cool?
It would be a very cool t-shirt.
I don't know if it's a t-shirt or I don't know what it is.
Could be a hat.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. Look at my
towel.
Look at my Facebook page.
Coffee,
look
coffee
at
mug.
It'd be a great coffee mug, wouldn't it? It'd be hysterical.
Hysterical.
We think so.
I mean, yeah, but we're easily humored, and it's Friday.
Yeah, whack. I have shown you mine. Show me yours. Draw a stick figure. Draw a stick figure, and show me where you have moved politically, and put it in social media.
I love it.
And tag me, and maybe tag Elon Musk as well. I think it's
let's get this thing going.
And now the survey question basis. Do you agree with Elon Musk that the Democratic Party has been hijacked by extremists? That's the survey question of the day.
And write up about it and everything can be found at the website and all your social media.
See, where you've already explained this once today, but explain it again. What does your stick figure look like?
Okay, so my stick figure looks like this. So I chose 1981.
Damn it, you're all over the place.
All over the place, and there's a reason. So I chose 1981, 1993, and 2022.
Why those years?
I didn't grow up political at all.
Right.
At all. So I chose when I was 10 years old. My parents were moderate Republicans, and so I just put myself right in the middle of moderate Republicanism. I had no idea. 1993 was the year I graduated from college. In that time, they called me PCTC because guess what happens when you go to a very liberal college?
Sure.
You become, and you don't have sort of established ideas of your own. So I swung all the way over to the left. Why not? That's what one does. And then I would say 2002, I am left of center, but solidly independent. And that's where
Hold that up
now.
just a little higher for me. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
But it makes you think.
Wang, wang.
Wang, wang, wang,
Do you think you're gonna swing back?
No, I'm good.
You feel secure there?
I feel really secure here.
I feel secure where I am as well. I feel very secure in terms of where I am too. All right. It's the greatest issue of the day. It really is. So draw your stick figure and it'll make you think, right? It'll make you think about where you are. And wouldn't it be great if we could have politicians and media figures, and media figures.
That's up.
Let's see. Yeah. Show us what you got. Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun?
Where were you and where are you now?
Right. That's the fun part. Yeah. That's the interesting part.
And why? Why?
But not just where are you today?
Right.
Where have you been? I mean, Hillary Clinton was a Goldwater, organizer back in the day. Everybody has. I think when they're honest, I frankly would be more troubled by someone who says with a sense of rigidity, this is where I am and this is where I have always been.
Right. I think sometimes if you grow up in a really strong political family, maybe you do stick with one.
For sure.
But I think more people are a little bit, there is some movement.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are the headlines from Smerconish.com, the website, the newsletter. Register, please, for the newsletter. We're going gangbusters. People love it. So much time, too much time goes into the deliberative process as to what will be the aggregated links of the day. But take advantage of it. Don't just vote on the survey question of the day. Spend some time there, navigate, and take a look at all the good content that we offer. All right. Thank you so much for listening, watching, reading, etc., etc.